is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Here we are.
Yeah, boy.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Decom Descendants. I'm Brian. That's Aaron. That's Dave.
That's a really cool voice you're doing, man.
Thank you. Well, I just want people to know that we take this seriously.
We're
so
professional.
That's your serious voice?
Yeah.
It took 76 movies to get
That's
to your
right.
serious
I
voice?
finally made it.
It's very serious. Today we're talking...
It was enough of a commitment where he was like, I guess I should be
That's
serious
right.
now.
You want to ease into it, at the very least. Today we're talking Cheetah Girls, One World.
One world, no Raven.
One World, third movie, no Raven, is what we're talking about today. I got to wonder something, Dan. I got to wonder it.
Please do.
Do we got any reviews?
Yeah, we
I
sure
remember
do.
last week you mentioned that there's a few
Yeah.
in the hopper.
There are.
That's
There's
what you-
one more in the hopper.
Okay,
We
one
love the
more in the
hopper.
We're up to 174 total.
Let's
Nowhere
go!
close. It's not going to add up unless we hit the big time at some point.
I'll just say this. You saying nowhere close is just downright rude. It's all in the way that you look at it.
We're over halfway.
We're over halfway.
Okay, if you say so. This is from Romantic Feminist. Romantic Feminist.
Okay.
2 days ago.
Wow.
So this is just hot off the
Fresh.
presses here. I watched a lot of the early DComs when they aired,
Sure.
and some of the later ones with my kids. This podcast is a fun way to remember stupid movies and laugh nostalgically at them.
Yes.
That's a great take. That's a great take from Romantic Feminist.
I don't know.
That
how
could
I
almost
feel
be like
about
our podcast synopsis.
Yes.
A great way to laugh at these stupid films and the nostalgia.
I don't know how I feel about them calling it stupid, but
I mean, they're stupid.
Some of them.
Yeah.
we're talking
best
about
is when
Cheetah
you-
Girls One World. They go because for Bollywood.
But also,
The Cheetah Girls
Do you
go
mean
for
Hollywood?
Bollywood.
Do you mean
they
Hollywood?
go for Bollywood.
I mean Bollywood.
It's going to
Oh.
get it.
I know.
Oh, no.
Wait until you hear.
It's
We are
fun
talking.
to invest in the stupid. When they're stupid and you still find yourself investing, that's when you know they're good. Or they're just stupid like Camp Rock and you're just here. You're just here happy for your friends who are enjoying it still.
Your negativity off the charts today.
Okay. Why don't we get to the list segments?
Over there with, we're not even close to 300.
We
over
aren't.
there with Camp Rock is trash. I won't stand for it today.
Okay.
It's time for Delish. What do we have today for Cheetah Girls One World?
What a segue into the delish.
Mm-hmm.
Very angry segue. I really wanted to make an Indian dessert for today. In the movie, they celebrate Holi, and I was like, oh, there's got to be like a feast component to this holiday. Let me look up some desserts. And let me tell you, if you have the time, please just do Google Indian desserts or Indian Holi desserts and make them all and eat them. They look
Make 'em all.
phenomenal.
And so you made them all.
I didn't.
Oh.
Here's the thing. And some of them don't require a lot of ingredients. They don't require a lot of time. And I thought this is good. Downside, they are specialty ingredients. You will need to go to an Indian grocery store or maybe order them online. So I didn't have time to get the ingredients. But they look phenomenal. I highly suggest you either Google them or just find a local Indian restaurant or something. Was very into it, very upset that I couldn't find the ingredients. What I could find were the ingredients to make a mango lassi, which is just it's a mango smoothie basically. There's a little
right
bit
up
of
Brand's alley.
I know.
I don't mind a mango smoothie.
Well, if you don't like it, you can pour it right in here.
Okay.
So this isn't a typical Indian drink. I've seen this on many Indian restaurant menus, which I typically don't order because I tend to save my money at the restaurant to just order as much food as I can.
Sure.
So I was kind of excited to try this out. I really like it. I think it's very delicious. But
What
I
is the
also
Delish segment?
I also love mango. So that
Yeah.
Should we dink it?
Okay, let's think it.
Dink, dink.
Cheers, everybody.
My straw's not working.
Yeah.
Just move it off the bottom of it real quick.
I did it just
Oh, well,
no suckage.
it might have.
That's nice.
Yeah, I'm not a huge mango guy, but I think you nailed the texture of it, which is the most important thing. So I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, there's a little bit of mint in there, which I'm loving.
Yeah.
Like that for this would be delicious sitting outside by a
Yeah,
pool or by the ocean or
absolutely.
something. I'm a big fan. I wish I could have made some food, but because I'm just gonna keep thinking about it.
I think this is really yummy.
So we did it. Delish.
We did it. We delish. That's D&D com.
That's right.
And Bran sounds less angry now, so we did it.
Great.
Well, we'll see what Dan says about
Okay.
this movie.
Well, you're less angry than you were 3 minutes ago.
We're going to take a break.
What?
They're going to go to India. We're going to take a break. We're all going somewhere, and that's what you need to know. So come on back. We'll be right back here on
Deck the
Decon
Hallmark.
Descendants.
Damn it. You do something so many times and you get lost. So embarrassing.
Welcome
Were
back.
you lost in the weeds or in the ogres?
Both. It's a both and.
Both and he's lost.
I literally could be sitting at my house and if somebody, if Bran just popped his head in and was like, we'll be right back right after this here on, I would just say Deck the Hallmark. Just so
Instinctively.
And what if I walked in and I say, may we be the first to wish you?
I Merry Christmas every time. Keep decomming it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk Cheetah Girls. One World.
Cheetah Sisters.
Movie came out on August 22nd, 2008. Going back to school.
Oh, right after my birthday.
Let's learn something. Let's go over to India and learn something.
Learn something.
Yeah, learn something about different cultures.
Yeah. Get cultured here.
Written by Dan
Thompson?
Berenson. That's the Bernstein Bear guy again. Nisha Ganatra and Jen Small. And directed by Paul Hone, who I think has done the other two.
Yeah, he's done a lot of Disney Channel.
Starring all of your favorite Cheetah Girls, except for Raven. Adrian, I always mess up her last name, Baolin, Sabrina Bryan, Keely Williams.
Does it help that that's not her last name anymore?
Yeah.
But at the time, Keely Williams is who started it.
Hooten.
No, Adrian, her she got married.
Yeah.
She now goes by her husband's last name.
There you go.
Great.
Shall we dive in to this
Maybe.
movie?
Let's do it.
Should we?
I guess, yeah.
The movie kicks off on the set of Cheetah Love, where in New York City, the Cheetahs are at it again, sans Raven.
Sans Raven.
And it's a full music video, full Cheetah Love. We snap back to reality.
Oh, there goes
the
gravity.
The gravity is falling because Raven's nowhere to be found. The Cheetahs.
It wasn't actually a music video?
No, I don't think so. I think it was just
they were auditioning.
And
Another
it
failed
was
audition.
a reference that Dan may understand, but it was a full like High School Musical 3 when Sharpay is envisioning her life on Broadway.
That's exactly right.
And then we snap back to the cafeteria.
Yes,
which
100%.
spoiler for everyone following along because we haven't gotten to that year yet. Or we are in that year, isn't it?
But that's a theatrical.
Apparently we're
That's
not
not
gonna
a
Anyway,
decom.
whatever, Dan.
I'm just
Anyway, it's one of those situations where Chanel just gets very into the song and she can see the music
see it.
video.
right.
And then it's actually just another failed audition.
That's right. And it's tough. But the Cheetahs, they're doing okay. Galleria,
They're not.
She's gone to Cambridge, and Dorinda and her boyfriend from the last movie, they've broken up. And
Now, when they say Cambridge, they're talking about the school in England
yeah,
yes.
because there's not a
Cambridge, Mass.
university called Cambridge.
they
I
just
think it's
say,
Cambridge.
I don't think they want you to,
Think too much about it.
yeah, question it.
It's part of it.
So Dorinda and her boyfriend, they've broken up, and the Cheetahs.
You remember him from Spain?
Yes.
Yes.
And when he calls, it'll be from Spain. The Cheetahs.
Spain's calling.
She doesn't have him programmed in her phone
No,
anymore.
just Spain. It's just Spain. And the Cheetahs just aren't sure what's next for them. Maybe they should just call it a day. Maybe
Yeah.
we should just
Aqua's got a summer class to get ready for college,
yes.
lot on their
which
plate.
she may or may not have signed up for already. I'm very hazy on it because she talks about how she could be taking the class,
Yeah.
and I'm
There's
confused if she signed up
right.
and paid for the class. And Dorinda is teaching a dance camp.
Yeah,
there's
this
so
summer.
much stress and anxiety about the schedule that these 17, 18-year-olds look positively 25.
Yes.
It ages, when you're doing the hustle to be
That's
a
right.
girl group, it
That's right.
ages you.
It ages you, man. It just ages you, you know?
Yeah.
And it's also rough because I think with all of the hustle, they were held back a year or two in school because just like 2 years ago, what did we discover it was like 2000?
In 2003, they were supposed to
freshmen.
be freshmen.
And we're just graduated.
Doesn't
in
matter.
2008,
Yeah.
this is 5 years, crammed 4 more years of high school, 3 more years of high school into 5.
So
Yeah.
we did it.
They're doing the best that they can.
They can rent a car, and that's what's
They're
important.
very excited to finally go to college.
So they go to their favorite Indian restaurant to talk about next steps.
Obviously.
And Chanel gets a call, and it is big news.
They're going to Hollywood.
They want the Cheetah Girls to audition
They got that
for
golden
a
ticket.
Hollywood movie. What's the script? Is it good? Don't care.
Doesn't
Don't
matter.
know.
And
Where
how
is
do
it
they decide that they're gonna accept this audition? Do they just like talk about it in the
Well,
restaurant?
no.
Oh.
No, they break out into song. And the
Full-
restaurant
Full song.
the restaurant loves it. Everybody in this restaurant is like, thank God.
They're up and
This
dancing
is
with them.
big.
They're bebopping.
Quick, get the chairs ready.
There's a chair dance.
All
above
above board.
They're all in.
All
It's
above
above
board
board.
chair
dance.
Yeah. It's an above board chair dance, guys.
It's above board.
And
chair
it
dance.
is
Your
one of
mind's
those
out of the
moments
gutter.
where I really wish like this had really happened and we could tune into like influencers in the wild, that Instagram account
Oh.
where someone's just filming them and you can't hear any of the
Yeah.
music because it
doesn't
phenomenal.
exist.
It was just envisioning being in that
Pitch
restaurant,
perfect.
just watching these
Yeah.
three girls.
That's right. Cut to them
lose their-
auditioning.
What if this whole movie is just like a delusion from Chanel?
Everybody's like,
What-
did you guys see those three girls? Crazy.
Nuts. Would not surprise me one bit. Cut to them auditioning for
Girls
two
4.
guys that are definitely old enough to be directing a real movie.
Yeah, man.
They're definitely not their age.
No.
Yeah. Those Cheetah Girls show up. There's no one else auditioning. It is just the
Just
three of
them.
them for two guys who are who are their age. They're-
yes.
But like
Yes.
it's above board. Again, above board.
It's all above board. And the
Yes.
other thing you need to know is that these two dudes have been tasked to actually find just one
Yes.
star. And the Cheetah Girls, Cheetah Sisters, don't know that.
Yes, the best I
the
can
director
figure.
loves all three of them and he's like,
Can't make a decision.
we're
Let's
just
fly
gonna
them
hire all
out to
three of
India.
them.
Yeah. The director Vic though is clearly very into Chanel though. Like it's like Chanel is really something special.
they
The
lock
rest of-
eyes and he
Yes.
forgets how to speak
It's
and she
bad.
gets all
It's a whole
giggly.
thing.
And he's like, I can't wait for you guys to come out. This is going to be a great Bollywood movie. It's going to be wonderful. And they're like, Bolly what? I thought Holly.
Yeah, what
Wait
did
a
you-
minute.
what did you just
said
say?
Hollywood funny.
Not Hollywood. It's Bollywood. But it doesn't matter.
Nah.
Plans be damned.
When I talked to
the
you on the
Cheetahs
phone,
are
you
in.
didn't sound like you were casting
No.
a Bollywood.
No, not at all.
Didn't sound like it.
Plans be damned.
The Cheetahs are in. The class can
Cheetahs.
wait. The dance can wait.
She can teach the second session.
Yeah.
That's right. No problem.
How
And
often do you
Aqua's
get a
probably
chance?
okay. Or I think Aqua has signed up for the class because she says she can just get all her studying done on the plane ride.
Yeah, no problem.
How-
One plane ride, it's
Yeah.
all in.
How often do you get a chance to go over to India where there are 1.5 billion people and try to star in one of their movies?
That's exactly right. Not very often, I would imagine. They fly over, they land. Dorinda spots an elephant, and the movie switches to slow motion, and I don't know why, but she has one heck of a connection with this elephant.
Mhm. And she's going to see a lot of elephants.
And it's gonna blow
gonna-
her mind
and
every
it
time.
is going to be the same slow-mo every time. She
Yeah.
does see one in the Indian restaurant before they
Right,
the
a
call.
statue of one, yeah. So that's
wild.
She's really into elephants.
And you just start to believe that, are we going to get another romance storyline for her? What's going on with this
Right.
elephant?
right.
It's going to get weird.
It's gonna be great.
But
So they-
again, above board.
above board.
Yeah,
So
completely.
they show up for the first day of shooting. Vic still hasn't told them that only one of them is going to be in this movie. The lead actor, Raheem, shows up. Fans flock to him. He's a very big deal.
big deal.
And he
Yes.
seems cool. He
He's
seems
so
calm.
cool
He
unless
seems
he's
collected.
talking to that one girl.
That's right. Until the choreographer, is it Gita? Is that
Gita,
her?
of course.
Gita shows up and he just melts. He doesn't know how to talk. He doesn't know how to walk. He doesn't
She
know how
starts
to do
walking
anything.
into things. He's dropping everything.
Yeah, it's
And
big.
they think they're playing it cool, but everyone else is like, oh, there's something going on here.
And Gita, this is like Cheetahs, it's time to dance. And they don't know how to do the Bollywood dance
Yeah,
yet.
she doesn't
And
do any instruction. Gita is just like, all right, follow me.
5,
And
6,
she just
7,
goes
8.
into the whole
It is-
routine.
It is Joe Jonas at Camp Rock. Where
Yes.
he walks
Yes.
into the room,
Yes.
he's like, here we go.
Here we go. And then the cheetahs try to keep up, and then everyone just laughs at them. Which Dorinda dances her thing. I don't
That's
know if
right.
you know. She takes offense and she's like, all right, fine.
Challenges
Dance battle.
them to a dance battle.
Dance me if you can,
Dance
I
me if you
believe
can.
is what
Yes.
they call
and
it.
I said, oh, it's Dance Me If You Can.
And Bran was like, no
Bran
way.
was like, there's
Well, that
no
can't be
way.
the title. And then the chorus
And I
is like,
didn't say
dance
anything.
me if you can.
I didn't say anything because I was like, the chorus is going to come up
Yeah.
and it's going to be
They'll
very
say
obvious
it.
that it's Dance Me If
They'll
You Can.
say it. Dance me if you can.
And we're all better for it.
Yes.
I mean, great cinematography in that scene.
Yes. Vic's uncle Kamal shows up, and he is the one who's funding this whole thing.
That's right.
It's his
is
production company.
Very confused why there are three
American
girls.
leads to this Bollywood production.
He tells them, "You have to get rid of them. We're going to hire one
girl."
girl."
He says to Vic, he's like, "I told you could hire one," and of course the Cheetahs are like, "Oh, we're out."
That's right.
Yeah.
We're out of
All
here.
for one for all.
Yeah.
But then they decide, you know what? Maybe we should just audition.
This sounds
let's do
familiar.
this. This is
Like
a big
they've done this
opportunity
before.
for us. Maybe we should just audition. Whoever gets it, gets it.
That's right. But
We'll play fair.
It's still good exposure.
But
for
what
Cheetah
if we
Girls.
audition all together singing one song?
Well, yeah,
We don't know
we'll
yet.
get to
Auditions
that.
are a few days away.
Okay,
Yeah.
my bad.
Don't
Sorry.
judge.
We're gonna
Heaven forbid we jump
We're
ahead.
gonna figure out how we'll audition. We'll get there.
So Chanel and Vic, they get closer because he has a big crush on her.
Of course.
Yep.
Dorinda befriends Raheem to try to help him get the courage to ask Geeta out after she realizes, oh, she also really likes it. They just don't know how to talk to each other.
Yeah.
Aqua finds out that the boy that she's been in contact with for a while, who is her tech support on the phone, she keeps like breaking her laptop.
Back in New York, she keeps
so that
messing
she
with
can
her
call-
laptop so she
Yes.
could call Kevin 135 or whatever.
That's right.
Yeah.
And he calls her and
Which inappropriate.
Yeah,
I know you
man.
have her number, sir, because she calls
Yeah.
your tech support line, but
Nah.
you can't use that for personal. But he
No.
tries to play it off as like, I'm just trying to make
Yeah.
sure that
making
last
sure your computer is
fixed
good.
it.
But
Yes.
isn't it the dream that the tech support guy is actually a secret millionaire? You know,
Well,
isn't
it is, yes.
Isn't it
Yeah.
the dream?
She's
And
like, I'm in
she's
India.
there, and she's in India trying to figure out when to place a tech call because of the time difference.
Right.
But then when he calls her, he makes a comment about looking at the sunset. And she's like,
I'm
wait,
looking at-
somewhere where the sun is setting? I'm looking at the
It's
sunset.
hard for me to even raise my hands to say this is all above.
It's
board.
not above board. This one's not above board. And they immediately are both staring at the sunset, and they know that they're on the same street, which is wild because you could be in a vast number of locations and the sun is setting at the same time.
Yes, a lot of them.
But they're like, oh, I can see this ice cream cart. Oh, I see that too. And then they turn around and they're staring at each other.
That's all there is. No problem.
It doesn't
But
seem
yes,
above board to
we
me.
do find out that his name is Amar, and
He's kind of like a prince.
He's
I don't
yes,
know.
he's
very
prince
rich.
adjacent.
He's very
and it's like
rich.
you all just come and stay with me while you're here.
Yeah, Vic is upset with the budget. He walks onto his set and it's broken and empty. And thankfully, is it Kevin?
Yes.
He's like, oh, why don't you just come to my palace? And they're like, yeah, great, road trip.
Right. Yeah. And so
Cool. Your palace? Yeah. Tech support's got palace.
We
Good
met
to
this
go.
guy.
If only we had a place to film this movie.
We met this guy 5 minutes ago, and we're all taking a road trip.
Yeah.
We all get in the cars. Uncle gets in the car.
Makes a lot of sense.
Here we go.
and in typical Cheetah Girl movie fashion, they are separated for a while.
Yeah.
And the movie happens, and it is what it is. But it is time for audition now, and they have decided best way to do that is all
It's
together.
an all for
How to
one
showcase our
sing-along.
individual talents is
That's
to
right.
do a group number.
And they
Yes.
keep trying to dance in front of the other one, but all with great choreography.
Yes, but the
and some
uncle
rules.
is there, Vic is there,
Raheem is there.
Raheem is there,
And
They're
Kevin.
all giving
yes.
their opinion.
Yeah, so each guy, after they do their, they do their number, the guys start singing. They're in on
they're
the
in
audition.
on it.
But they're
in on
basically
it.
singing to the uncle about why, Vic is voting for Chanel, Kevin is voting for Aqua, and Raheem is voting for Dorinda. Why their pick should
Right.
be the lead.
And so surely it's not going to be a big deal, but it is a big deal because Dorinda sees Chanel with Vic and is like, oh, she's not playing fair. And they all just kind of like,
Yeah, you're cozying up to the director.
That's right.
We said no boys.
we said no boys.
And we all found boys.
But Dorinda at the same time
Dorinda
is
did not.
literally
Dorinda found an
the truth.
Dorinda is helping Raheem. And
That's right. Helping a
obviously,
boy. That's right.
obviously, Aqua is with rich guy who's kind of weasel his way into this movie. No one's playing fair.
That's right.
No one's playing fair.
Yeah, because Kevin's basically now funding the movie, so that seems unfair.
And they're going to film it at his house? Yeah?
Yeah,
Best I can
Yeah.
figure.
They're
Yes.
filming it at his house. His mom loves Raheem, and
you
so
go.
like thrilled that Raheem will be filming
And
the
it's
movie
in
at her
this
house.
weird space where one of the most popular Bollywood stars in the world is having trouble getting a budget and a filming location.
Yeah, it is. Yes.
All right. cool.
Ultimately,
Well, it's like the uncle is funding his nephew's passion project,
Okay.
and somehow
They
got like the
booked
most.
this guy, but
booked
no
Raheem.
no money for anything else.
yes, for one girl.
Unless it was like, I have never seen a Bollywood film. Don't understand how the Bollywood studio structure works, but if it is like 1950s Hollywood where you're signed to the studio, the uncle could have been like, "Hey, can you just be contractually you have to be in
You
my
have to be in this picture.
And then I guess it just ends up working out for Raheem. But Raheem just seems like a nice guy.
Right. Yeah.
So
I don't know.
I don't know,
Ultimately,
they want us to believe he's the biggest star in India who also just has spare time.
yeah. Ultimately, Chanel is chosen.
Yeah.
And everybody is really sad, and so
And Dorinda gets all upset where she's like, obviously it was you. You're making out with the director.
right. What better way to handle this than with a song where they
Yeah.
realize that friendship is better?
And it looks
Oh,
like
it
they're in three
starts-
different places, but it turns
Well,
out
they're all in the same location but singing separately. And it starts off really sad, but then the song comes around
Yeah,
to
it's
being
all
like, you
nice.
know what? Actually, friends are what's forever.
and it's cool that they've never done this in one of these movies before.
Yeah. It's great. It's wild.
This is at this point like their third singing montage of feelings or something.
Yes.
Like it's
Yeah.
wild.
So they
This
now
movie is just one long music video.
realize friendship. Good.
And it'll- you know what, Chanel,
individual
it'll-
success doesn't matter.
No.
Yeah, Chanel, we're really happy for you. We know we're friends. That's what matters.
That's right.
And any press is good press for the Cheetah Girls.
But she's
Got it.
like, no,
yeah,
uh,
actually,
I'm not going to. And so they go.
we came here together. I'm not taking.
That's right.
this.
So they're like, they tell them, hey, we're not going to, I'm not going to do it. And they're like, well, who could we possibly get?
Who could we possibly find last minute
On
who knows
such
all
short
the
notice.
choreography?
And yes. And the good news is that the Raheem finally gains the courage to go and talk to
The carriage.
The
He gains
carriage.
the carriage. He rides right over there and then gets the courage and
gain
goes
the
and talks
cadge.
to her.
Gain the cadge.
Gita,
to-
who has been wearing like an amazing summer set of the whole movie, like linen pants, a nice like breezy shirt, looking like I'm here to work. All of a sudden is just perched really weirdly on a couch wearing
Yeah.
this really cute red mini dress.
Casually reading.
It's a casual read.
Casually reading like
He goes up, gives her flowers.
casual
Yay,
read.
we're
It's a
gonna be
casual
better
read.
together.
That's how you read on your
Great
couch downstairs.
chemistry.
Oh yeah, when I leave here, like guys, I dress comfy for work because it's hot up here sometimes. But when I go downstairs, full ball gown, perched on my couch.
Well,
That's how I
that's what you-
relax.
yes.
That's what you have to do.
That's what you do.
And so they pitch, hey, since they like are clearly in love and have great chemistry, why don't
And
you
she knows
just-
all the dancing.
And she knows all the dancing. Why don't I don't even know if they bring up the dancing, to be honest,
They
which is
don't.
very
They're just
funny.
like, hey,
Like
she's right here.
she's right here. They do hire Gita to
And I believe she's already on contract with the studio, so
Yeah,
it's
so
not
no
going to cost
problem.
them any extra money.
and
Probably saving money because
Done
they
and
were already
done.
paying her to choreograph it. So.
and then the movie ends with a final musical number.
Best number of the movie.
And they
Easily.
are the Cheetahs are still in the movie, so I guess they got
yeah, they're just cast as
I
like
don't-
dancers.
it
Yeah,
does-
they
I don't
got
know.
one big number to star in though.
yeah.
They're Cheetah
Yeah.
Girls, Cheetah Sisters.
It
in
is
one role.
obviously like I don't know how much like is the song a part of the movie
Yes.
or is that in their mind? But they're dancing to that. I don't know.
From what I know, the very little I know about Bollywood is that it ends in that. Like that's why Slumdog Millionaire ends the way it does. is-
Yes,
And so I just
Very
imagine that was
much
the
a-
end of the movie.
correct.
I agree.
Can you
It's
believe that
just-
that's my favorite part of the movie?
Of Slumdog Millionaire.
I
You don't
would-
like Slumdog Millionaire?
Why would I like Slumdog Millionaire?
It's a great movie. It's a love story.
So you sit down and you just watch that all the time?
It is one of the most all-rise redemptive, let's freaking go movies.
No, as a whole, I really like the movie, but the only part I've seen over and over again is the ending.
Oh no, absolutely phenomenal.
all I'm getting at
I'm not watching
is
that movie over
that
again.
Oh my gosh.
I have been fooled into thinking that the Cheetahs are singing for everyone when they're not singing for anybody a couple of times. And
Yeah,
so
no, this one is part of the
That's
movie.
true.
They are
It's part of the
filming the
movie.
ending,
Bright
big
colors, fun
finale.
they get to ride on an
confetti.
elephant.
Oh.
Yeah.
They get to ride, which
The
Dorinda's
outfits are
pumped.
beautiful. There's flowers flowing everywhere in the wind.
There's
It is.
feet.
Listen, actually, I'll save it.
The log, the
Oh
river.
yeah, that scene. I'll
It's like,
say
well, that was weird.
I'm gonna
There's
save it for my
feet.
overtime.
Yes.
But
yes, it's a very fun song, and that's it.
All in, all done. Cheetah
That's
Girls,
it.
One World.
They end up on an elephant, and the movie's over.
So far, as of July 2025, no more Cheetah Girl movies
more
on the
Cheetah
horizon.
More
Girl
Cheetah
movies.
Girl movies, but
There you
dare
go.
to dream.
Dare to
everybody.
dream.
Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll share our thoughts on this movie.
Here on
Decom
There he is. He
Descendants.
did it.
Nailed
That was
it.
good.
Never a doubt.
Welcome back, everybody. We're talking about Cheetah Girls, One World today.
Cheetah Girls 3.
Cheetah Girls,
But One World.
One World. Three girls, three movies, no Raven. It's time to share our thoughts on this movie, how it aged over time. That's the O and D com. I got some letterbox reviews for
Great.
Would
you.
love to hear it.
Caitlin says.
Oh, you're good.
Caitlin says 4.5 stars and says, if you think about it, Dance Me If You Can is the lesbian sister of I Don't Dance from High School Musical.
Wow.
Yeah, they're
That is
similar.
so true.
They're similar
Reed
because
says,
at the end of that, while they're dance battling, all of a sudden all the beef is gone, and
Yeah.
Dorinda and Gita are hugging. They're
and
like,
there's a lot going on
they're
there.
teaching American
I
dance
think-
moves. They're
and
teaching Indian
I
moves.
think
Like it's
Dance Me If You Can is as good as I Don't Dance. So there's that. There's your hot take for the day.
Reed says 5 stars. Tied with High School Musical as one of the best trilogies to ever exist.
Ever. Oh my goodness.
Shaney says 2 stars. Dorinda has a stronger connection with those elephants than I've had with any human ever.
Fantastic.
Zach says 2 stars. The opening scene is 3 out of the 4 girls singing about how cheetahs stay together. And Kerr says 5 stars. This movie made me super popular in the 4th grade because I knew all about India. Thank you, Cheetah Girls. One World.
Nice.
Let's share our thoughts on this movie. I'll start with you, Aaron. Cheetah Girls, One World. Good movie?
I don't know about that. This is my least favorite of the Cheetah Girl movies. I remember following, like I was watching Disney Channel throughout the whole rise and fall of Cheetah Girls. So I knew that they were a touring group minus Raven. So it wasn't quite a shock to me that.
So they were really touring and singing and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Disney created a band.
I didn't know that.
Albums, tours, concerts, all of that. And Raven was never a part of it. She was filming that, so Raven, like she had
It's a
other,
big deal.
was doing her own solo career.
And I guess during number 2, she felt like not really a part of it.
Yeah,
and so
there was a lot of
didn't have any desire to
distance
come
between
back
her
for
and the other 3 girls
because she wasn't touring with them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
wasn't
I
like
mean
a
they
close
had been
friend.
together a lot, but even though they were like touring as the Cheetah Girls, rightfully so, Raven was a bigger star than the 3 of
Yes.
them, and so there was just a lot of like animosity on the set. So it wasn't a shock to me that she didn't come back for this movie. And so like falling in like the first Cheetah Girl movies, it was so iconic to my childhood. And at this point I was kind of over it. Like I was 18, I was in college. And it didn't have that same magical feel. I like, there is like, I know they do a good job on screen of being friends, but knowing that behind the scenes they weren't friends kind of killed the on screen for me, where I was like, this is all like, it just felt like fake. And it's tough when you know it's fake. And like the movie's also, I don't know. I think I've seen it while we watched it. I was probably maybe my 3rd time seeing the movie ever. I definitely watched it when it came out. Have probably seen it at least one other time. I don't love it. It's very complicated in the sense that it's not a musical, but it kind of is.
Yeah, this
But
one feels a lot
also-
like a musical. But you're right.
It's like a musical, but also people aren't like joining in, like they're aware.
But they do sometimes.
It's just very mixed. Like they're like when they're in the restaurant, they're doing a music video. When they're singing about their feelings, it's a music video. When they're doing the dance battle, that's a musical. So it's very disjarring where it's like, what are you doing? We didn't talk about it in the comm chat, but or maybe you did and I blacked out, but when Aqua meets Kevin, she says to him, like, she's been talking to him this whole time, she never realized that he lived in India, and she says to his face, "You don't sound like you live in India."
Yeah. What a moment. What a moment. What a moment here on Decom Descendants.
Because really, if
It's
you're
proof that anybody can be racist if they put that
That's
line
right.
to it.
it just is a line that why did that made it past so many script approvals, and yikes. So yeah, there's a lot. I mean, I think the ending number is probably my favorite Cheetah Girls number.
Any number's really solid.
It's
really,
beautiful,
really
it's
good.
bright, it's colorful, it's upbeat. Like, I love it. I mean, the ending of the first movie is just iconic, but this one is, they've really done it. Like,
Yeah,
they
sing to say the dog.
like they
Stuck in
Dog
the
won't
well.
come out.
well, at that point they've saved the dog.
Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not my favorite Cheetah Girl movie. It's not even gonna rank high on my list. Probably higher than Dan has it on his list, but
What?
yeah, I mean, my hot take is you can probably skip the whole movie and just watch the last 6 minutes of this film and you'll get it. There was a Bollywood movie, elephants were involved, the end.
Elephants were involved.
Elephants were involved. We
That's all
love the elephants.
That's all you need to know about this movie. Just tune into the last 6 minutes.
I going into this podcast, I didn't care about Cheetah Girls at all. I've never seen this movie. I'd never seen the second one before doing this show, and the second one ended up being, I liked it more than the first one. I was pretty low on the first one. I really liked the second one. The third one is going to be in between those two. It's my second favorite Cheetah Girl movie. Cheetah's Girl. It's a really fun movie. There's some good song numbers. The last number is as good as it gets. There are, some of it doesn't work. Some of it doesn't age particularly well. And there is definitely some meandering in the middle because once again, it's the Cheetah Girls just remembering friendship is more important. So it is very similar to High School Musical in that it's the same plot, just different.
Yeah.
Yep.
Troy learning, I can do basketball and singing. Like,
we can still be friends.
we can still be friends. Like, it is that again. And so I think that the second Cheetah Girls is the best Cheetah Girls, but I think that this one is a solid one, with one being pretty low down on my list. And so I liked it more than I anticipated. I am okay on Cheetah Girls. It's not going to be a franchise that I will seek out, but the songs, when the songs work, they work real well. And
that's the thing about this movie is when the songs work, they work, and when they don't, they really don't.
Yeah.
And that's if you've caught on at all while watching this podcast, the music plays a huge part in my ranking. I mean, the music will bump a bad movie up, and sometimes the music is going to bump an okay movie down. Because I can name you, I've seen this movie at least 3 times. I listen to a lot of Disney Channel soundtracks. Can you believe it? So the soundtrack for this plays a lot on like Spotify playlists that I listen to. With all that, I can name you 2 songs from this movie. I can picture the other numbers that happened. Could not tell you a single name of those songs. Couldn't even tell you a lyric, except for Dancing If You Can and One World.
There you go.
Yeah.
And that's everything else. I know they happened, but I don't know anything about them.
Dan, what'd you think for Cheetah Girl movie?
Yeah, the Cheetah Girls movies aren't for me.
What?
I believe it or not. I know,
He's not a
it's
Cheetah
crazy.
Girl nor a Cheetah sister.
What about an amiga chica?
I also, not even a little bit. I also
Which they did happen to work out into dialogue.
I also like the first one more than the second one. That's where I differ with you guys. It's shorter. It's a lot more cohesive. The first one, I think, to me, is like prime Raven Simone, and she is doing her best overacting. And there was something about that story that I do remember. Like, one of the girls is poor and she's trying to hide it. And then they're going to this record label and he's all wrong. And the mom's
Jackal
showing up
Johnson.
and she's late and she's got blah, blah, blah. And the hot sauce in the purse. Like, that movie has a lot of like character, like charm to it, that even though that these movies aren't for me and it was pretty low on my list, it is memorable to me. The other thing I'll say about all 3 Cheetah Girls movies is they do commit, while I don't disagree that we're kind of caught in a liminal space between musical and not musical, they are consistent with how they present the music. Like, there's a lot of performances where music video takes place, and there are moments in all 3 movies where everyone wide shot is doing choreography. And that, to me, makes all 3 of these movies like better than Camp Rock, where I don't believe Camp Rock attempted anything other than to shove the Jonas Brothers and Demi Lovato in my face. That's all they were trying to do. It's half-assed. Until the Demi Lovato number, it's half-assed. So for me, this movie also is only 85 minutes long. Huge deal for a third in a trilogy to be shorter than the other two. The last number might be the best number. Dance Me If You Can, a fun number in this movie. So it's not as good as 1. It's better than 2, in my opinion. It is. All 3 of these movies are better than Camp Rock because they are sticking to a thing that they're doing. And I just never got into the Camp Rock thing. I don't get into these movies, but there's 10 or 12 minutes of this movie that I really did enjoy. Gonna be low on my list, not for me, but it's fine. It was pretty innocuous. It wasn't the end of the world for me. And it was only 85 minutes. Did I mention it was only 85 minutes?
It's only 85 minutes.
You mentioned it.
Let's tell everybody where it's going to land on our list, and also where all the other Cheetah Girls are.
Yeah, I like that.
I'd like to hear that. Aaron, kick it off.
Yeah, I'm trying to find where I have the other Cheetah Girls. So Cheetah Girls 1 is 30 on my list.
Okay.
I have Cheetah Girls 2 at 25. And I have Cheetah Girls 3 at 53.
Holy moly.
Wow.
Bottom 20.
Besides like 2 dance
lower than I have it.
Yeah. Besides 2 dance numbers, there's nothing in this movie that makes me want to watch it again. I don't, at this point, I've seen 3 movies with the same girls fighting over the same issue. We've been there. We've done that. The scenery is beautiful. And if the first 2 movies had taken place in New York, maybe India would have given it a bump. But like, I'm comparing it to Barcelona, and they're both gorgeous. So
Barcelona.
Yeah, Barcelona.
So you have 2 ahead of 1, is that right?
Yeah,
she goes 2, 1, 3.
Yeah.
You're gonna go 2, 3, 1.
Yeah, we all have different Cheetah
right.
Girl rankings.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go 1 through 2.
I didn't see it coming because I for me the first one's so iconic, but I do like the second one. The numbers are really good, and I also Belinda gets a little bump because I do love Belinda. But yeah, so 53, I have it behind Genius and ahead of Going to the Mat. I figured I would probably rather watch
2 movies in my top 26.
Yeah. So my top 10 has not changed. I have Halloween Town at 10, Get a Clue, Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off, Phantom of the Megaplex, Smart House, Johnny Tsunami, Right on Track, Cadet Kelly, High School Musical, and The Better Brink, Motocross.
The Better Brink.
Build a Better Boy.
Brink with feeling.
Build a Better Boy, that's one.
Build a Better Boy.
Isn't there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have the
Build a
original
Boy, Build a
Cheetah
Better Boy.
Girls movie real low. I have it at 55.
Holy fire.
Very much did not like that movie. I have Cheetah Girls 2 at 21. And in the middle of all that, at 30, I have Cheetah Girls One World.
What a wild thing. This movie's all over the map.
I have Cheetah Girls One World also close to Going to the Mat. I have Going to the Mat one space ahead of it.
29?
At 29, yep. And then I have Johnny Capahala back on board at 31. So it's sandwiched in between those 2 joints. Top 10's the same. Full Court Miracle at 10, Smart House at 9, Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off at 8, Cadet Kelly at 7, Get a Clue at 6, High School Musical at 5, Motocross at 4, Johnny Tsunami at 3, High School Musical 2 at 2, and the greatest movie of our time and any time, Brink at 1.
This movie is going to premiere in one host's 30s, one host's 40s, and one host's 50s.
How about that?
Which is just insane. Cheetah Girls, I had Cheetah Girls 1 at 43. I have Cheetah Girls 2 at 51. Cheetah Girls One World, 48. 48 for me. Right behind Alley Cat Strike, right ahead of Hounded.
Oh.
That's where it goes. Feel great about it. And then my top 10, unchanged since last week when I moved High School Musical into the top 10. 10 High School Musical, 9 Full Court Miracle, 8 Scream Team, 7 Get a Clue, 6 Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off, 5 Phantom of the Megaplex, 4 Johnny Tsunami, 3 Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire, 2 Cadet Kelly, number 1. Still by far motocross.
There you go.
There you have it. We did it.
Next week, we are heading into the year 2009. So that's August 22nd, last DCOM of the year.
They really
only 3 movies for 2000.
When they started getting popular with the DCOMs, they really pushed out so many a year, and then they were like, "This is not sustainable."
Yeah,
and then it drops down real fast to like 4 a year.
Hallmark did the reverse.
Well, I think Hallmark is getting there because we've had a whole month with no new movies.
With
and we're going into another month with no new movies.
So 2009's Dad Napped is next week.
Starring Emily Osment.
Okay.
So some Disney royalty.
Yeah. All I remember from this one is I
haven't seen this one.
Dad gets kidnapped, and I think
In
she
a
has
movie
to
called
do.
Dad Nap.
I know, and I think there's like some spy hijinks, so she tries to get
spy
back.
jinx.
All right.
That's what I remember. It could be totally wrong. I have seen this one. I saw it one time.
Great. I'm excited for it. Coming back for that next week. And leave us a review sometime
man.
in the next week. We'd love to have some more reviews next week. So bring them on. Until then,
keep coming it
please,
up
for the
all
love of
day,
it all.
every day. DCOM Descendants is a Bramble Jam podcast produced by Brandon Gray and that Greenville, South Carolina, at the Bramble Jam Podcast Network studios. For more information on our little podcast, you can go on the web, dcompodcast.com. You can go to the socials, at DCOM Descendants. To watch us watch these movies live, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. You can also go to takethetape.com. Also at bramblejamplus.com, you can get all these episodes ad-free. Plenty of ways to get involved, and for the love of God, leave us a review. Thanks so much.